Hey everyone, it's Nightlight9, and in this video I want to go over the new update with the second banner that's come out with the crossover event, as well as the new event itself and the new weapons and items that you can get in the exchange shop for that. So, first thing I want to say is I'm very happy to see that they are giving us a volume 2 of the free crystals. That is amazing, and I will definitely be using those to pull more, probably for Tifa, which I will get to in a minute. Jumping into the banner itself, the first thing I want to do is take a look at what we've got. Garnet's Rod. Honestly, you got to ask yourself a question. I'm going to go ahead and say, for me, this banner is a complete skip. But here's the question you got to ask yourself. Is Aerith your main healer? And if so, do you have a secondary healer or somebody that can replace her in battles? Because if you don't, especially if you're free to play and you're using Aerith as your main healer, maybe you don't even have another weapon that has Curaga, then this is ultimately not going to work out for you. I'm not saying that Aerith can't do magic damage at this point and all that, but if she is, somebody else has got to be providing the heals. And so, you know, here we have the magic attack increase as the ability at 6-star overboost. It is high potency, which is okay. But if she's your healer, I doubt that you're going to be able to have her ever sacrifice 4 ATB to cast this instead of a heal or a buff. So this is only going to work if she is somebody else, if she's your buffer or some sort of damage dealer. And if she's a damage dealer, you probably don't want her to be casting magic attack buffs on people. And I plan on covering that in a future video, but I did some testing with Aonibi and Sephiroth, and I can tell you that if the potency isn't at least high, you're actually better off just doing another attack instead of casting this buff. That's a little bit of a spoiler alert for that future video, but trust me, I've done the calculations, I've done the in-game tests, and it's not really very good. As far as the abilities go, boost ability potency is cool. Boost HP, always good. Especially, you know, at max 40 points is a lot. That reminds me of Crystal Gloves. That is pretty nice. But boost ability potency, like I said, if it's only physical and magical damage, it doesn't help her heals or anything like that. So if Aerith's your main healer and you don't have another healer, it's likely that this weapon is just not going to be useful for you. As far as the materia slots over here, I don't know. Attack boost, magic attack boost, magic attack boost. If you're using her as a magic damage dealer, it's very unlikely that you really want to be casting this. I can tell you that. Okay, Garnet's gown. I think it's good. Boost HP is good. Again, this gown does not go well with the weapon. It seems kind of like a separate thing. Boost heal plus 10 points on a outfit, I think is really nice. But at the end of the day, I'm not pulling for this. I'm going to pull more for the Tifa stuff and then wait till Banner 3 comes out to see what's on there. The only other thing I wanted to say is, obviously this is only a one weapon banner, and some people like it, some people don't. I think it's a little bit of a letdown that there's only one new weapon coming out in the second banner. The way they're kind of promoting it in the notices is that, well, that makes it to where you have higher chances of getting stuff. And so, real briefly, I'll show you what they did. So if you notice on the first collab banner, if you go to odds, both of these weapons, the featured ones, are 1%. And then whatever you've put on your wish list, like I've put Mirasame, I've put Enemy Launcher, those are 0.8%. Okay? So for this banner, because there's only one weapon, essentially what they've done is they've kind of taken this extra 1% and they've divvied it up amongst your wish listed weapons. So here you can see, and I didn't change the wish list. This is just what it has on their standard. These are wish listed items, like this bandage sword, and you can see it's 1% instead of 0.8. Prism rod, again, 1% instead of 0.8. Maybe if you were a brand new player and you want to get a wider variety of weapons, the fact that the wish list weapons have a higher percentage chance of dropping if you need those, that's kind of cool. You know, it's just whatever, you know, make it what it is for you. If this doesn't work out for you, then don't pull on this banner. Wait for the next one. Those are just some of the perks, I guess. The other thing I wanted to look at here really quick is the New event, so they have added new missions. Black Waltz, you can see here, starts at Ruin 1. They've added new co-op missions, and the new weapon that you can get here is Steiner's Blade. This weapon is, I don't know, it's okay. I would say it's quite nice for people that don't have a physical attack down weapon. I just pulled leather gloves for Tifa, so I'm really happy about that. But here's what I don't like about it. Even at max overboost, it's only low potency. It goes up to mid, so it's basically one tier down from something like leather gloves, which has Omni Strike, you know, which is mid potency and I believe can stack up to high. Not to mention the fact that max overboost is just still low. It's not amazing. Limit break potency, that's pretty good. That could make this a really good sub weapon for, you know, anybody. The boost attack, that's fine too. I mean, ultimately for, you know, a free weapon, I think it's just fine. And like I said, if you don't have a physical attack down weapon, then you know what? It's better than not having one at all. One last thing to note on this is that the black feathers did carry over. The gems are what has changed. So if you got a bunch of copies of Vivi's magical gun and did not spend your black feathers, then you are a leg up in this new exchange shop, because you can buy all these things like these gacha tickets with those black feathers that you had saved up. But overall, I'm just going to skip this. I'm actually pretty relieved that this banner is not amazing. I have been pulling more for Tifa, trying to get, I've actually almost got Stamp Card 3 completed, and that is going to be where I stop there. So I need 2,600 more crystals, hoping to get those, you know, through these dailies, and then I will be able to have this last copy, and I think that should put me to OB4 on her weapon. And I feel good about that, because with weapon parts, I don't think it's too out of line to think that I could get that to OB6 sometime, you know, in the foreseeable future. I was worried that, you know, if I need too many, right? If we start getting to need 600 to 800 parts, man, that's a real big investment. So I went pretty much all in on that banner, and that was my strategy. That's what I wanted to do. I find Tifa very useful. I'm relieved that this banner is just one, and it's just Aerith, and it's not for a setup that I am using for Aerith. So I'm going to skip this one, stock back up on my crystals, and wait for the next one. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss future content. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.